Should probably do an intro this time because I didn't have one for the last video. Don't forget to thank me and that you've been working out and thanking me for noticing.
What?
Don't forget to thank me for noticing that you have been working out.
Is that just something I bring up randomly?
You'll say it after I say something in the intro. You'll know.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Are you prepared?
I think so.
Stop yawning. No yawning.
No.
Why? You were like waiting for me and stuff. You could have been doing like
I know.
vocal exercises. You could have been going, Mommy
I
made
don't
me
do
mash my
vocal
M&Ms.
exercise.
Mommy
No, I
made me
don't wanna
mash my
do that.
M&Ms.
I don't want to
Mommy
do
made me
that
mash my M&Ms. Why not?
because it sounds stupid.
Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. It helps enunciate.
Sounds
Mommy made me mash my M&Ms.
really dumb though.
I think it's from The Office. Anyway, welcome to Impulsive, the most absolute thing of all things that ever thung on the internet.
Is it?
No, I don't even think that makes sense. I'm gonna do it again.
It doesn't.
Welcome to Impulsive, the show with the hottest questions and the hottest wings.
And the hottest wings? We don't have wings. We don't do hot wings.
What did I tell you earlier at the start?
Oh, that was supposed to be for me. I'm not a bird.
The funny thing is, you were involved in the inception of that joke, and we discussed it at length in the past.
Hottest wings?
Yeah.
We never talked about that.
Yes, we did. And then you would go, I have been working out. Thank you for noticing.
Well, I'm not a bird. Sorry, I didn't get that one.
You did before.
You just told me you'll know. No, you just said you'll know when
I thought you would remember.
And I didn't know.
I thought you would remember because we have talked about it before.
It was
we
bad.
have talked about it before, and you said you wanted to do it.
No. Well, okay.
Welcome to Impulsive, the show with the hottest questions and even hotter wings.
Thank you. I've been working out.
I didn't buy that. I have been working out. Thank you for noticing.
I have been working out. Thank you for noticing.
Again.
How do you want me to say it?
Just one more time.
I have been working out. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah. So the first thing that we can look at is that thing called...
What is this?
This is going to be iconic.
Iconic.
I think her name is Riri.
Can you re?
Is Ironheart even a character, or are they making one up just for this?
Ironheart is a character.
They've been a character?
Not for very long, and nobody really cares about them.
They made it just for this.
They didn't make it just for this. Let's see. Ironheart.
Where was
comic?
She
was in Wakanda Forever, which both of us didn't see.
Well, they needed a black Iron Man.
No, they already had one. Friggin' War Machine.
Yeah, I know.
And now Ironheart's going to get way more screen time than Don Cheadle. And I think Don Cheadle kind of worked for it and would deserve the screen time.
Yeah, he's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch War Machine. This looks lame.
I don't understand why they're just making female characters that are the actual character. It's like, okay, so she's Iron Man. Great. Like, all these characters just exist already. So, like, what is the point of just making copy-paste exact same characters?
They want to make it seem like she did more with less, but Tony Stark did it in a cave.
With like scraps of garbage. She got like a full fucking scholarship ride through Wakandan tech.
Yeah.
And then she comes back and makes an Iron Man suit. And it's like, come on.
It kind of has cornrows on it.
Can't you just be like a regular person? And does everything have to be like racially designed?
Maybe it was important to the character.
I don't know.
I don't know why, but maybe it was. I think the costume looks dumb.
I think it looks bad.
You know when you see like real robots versus what robots are like in sci-fi?
It doesn't look functional is the thing. Like, armor is supposed to be functional. This is just like a bunch of bulbous things all over it.
I will say, at least it's not nanotech this time.
Yeah.
Because it's always nanotech lately and not a physical suit, but the suit looks really dumpy. It looks like it belongs in Power Rangers.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it looks like a bad Power Ranger.
Yeah, like the one you get at the dollar store that's not really Power Rangers.
The Target Power Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, your tracking kicked in. Excellent.
Oh, it was broken?
Yeah. Oh, your mouth is going crazy now too, but at least you're moving.
I don't know why.
Kind of looks like you're dancing.
I'm not.
Yeah, you did a whole wiggle like a fish. Yeah, you did this like fish wiggle. It was a real sexy dance. Now you're doing it on purpose.
Gotta do it.
I
Or
thought
do
you
the
didn't do
fish.
that. I thought you didn't do that. I don't think I'll be watching Ironheart. It's not going to be one I'll watch.
I just don't think it's going to be very good.
I don't think
I don't
Disney
know.
thinks it's going to be that good because it's been finished for years and it's just been sitting
Has
there.
it?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty bad news.
Yeah, it's been finished for like 3 or 4 years or something.
That just sounds like bad news. You know, like it's not going to be good, and they're kind of like, should we release it at all, or should we wait for like all the other hype for all the other stuff to die out, or there's nothing? I think you know what they're doing. They're releasing it because they don't have anything else.
Yeah, maybe. Because Daredevil's probably finished. Well,
Yeah,
maybe not. It might be almost finished. Now I don't know. I don't know if
I
Daredevil's
don't
done or
know.
not. I haven't finished watching it yet. I've only really watched 1 or 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, the
Yeah,
new one. And I've only watched any of
yeah,
it because of the Netflix show. The Netflix show was really good.
yeah. I still need to watch that.
It's worth your time. It's not on Netflix anymore, though. It's on Disney.
Disney,
Yeah,
Disney
Disney.
Plus.
They better not be dumping it out because she's going to be important in the Avengers movies because nobody's going to want that.
Do we really need another Iron Man clone?
Yeah, exactly. Give it to War Machine. He's earned it. He broke his back.
Right?
They've done him dirty since then.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, guy actually deserves it.
Yeah, good
Now
actor.
you know what they do. They give it to someone else.
That nobody remembers because not very many people watched Wakanda Forever. It looked lame, and a lot of people didn't want to see Shuri step in as the Black Panther. Chadwick was their Black Panther. A lot of people
fair.
thought he should have been recast to keep the character going, and I agree. Because now they're stuck with a movie and character that people didn't really want. They'll have to try and redeem her to fans in the new Avengers movies, because I'm sure she'll be there. She'll be one of the Avengers.
They'll put her in there for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah, she'll be there with her weird panther head guns on her hands.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Me
Like,
neither. But
I
that's
thought
okay.
Wakanda uses like melee weapons for some
Yeah.
reason.
Oh, I hear they might be bringing
knows?
Miles Morales into the MCU. That's something that, I don't know, Spider-Man Kid, whatever his name is, Tom Denmark, has been saying for years he wanted, is basically be replaced by Miles Morales. So we'll see if it happens.
I mean, they're essentially just like the same guy. Just
No, it's got electric powers.
oh, right,
Yeah.
because he's not supposed to be a Spider-Man.
It's whatever. Anybody can be a Spider-Man. You could be a Spider-Man right now if you wanted to.
Maybe, but it would kill the current Spider-Man in this universe.
It's okay.
Whoever
Then
they
you'd be
are.
Spider-Man.
I guess, but then I'd have to deal with all that, and then everybody around me would die
I'll do it.
constantly.
I'll do it.
But then I would be the one dying,
I'll do it.
you know? I don't know. We might have to cut ties.
It's okay, because I'd be Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Fair.
I pick Spider-Man over you, if you weren't clear on that.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Spider powers. I think they'd be cool.
I don't want the associated grief that has to come with being Spider-Man.
It's fine. You just gotta play it
Who's
cool
gonna
like
be
the
your
emo
Uncle
one.
Ben?
I don't need one.
Who's going to be your Uncle Ben? You
I
have
don't
to
need
have
one.
one.
I never need to learn that great responsibility comes from great power. I never need to learn that, and I can just go power hungry and have fun.
But that's not how the Spider-Verse works.
Well, that's how I work.
Something happens to every single Spider-Man like that.
That's okay.
Everyone.
I'm just gonna do my thing, and I don't need an Uncle Ben to
You need to
ground
have
me.
your canon event.
No, I don't need an Uncle Ben to ground me and keep me from being a asshole. I'd be like Hancock.
Yeah, I think you would be, actually.
Yeah.
You'd be kind of a jerk.
It's a better movie than people give it credit for, by the way. Hancock. Pretty
It's
good
pretty
movie.
good.
Yeah. I Am Legend 2 is coming
Yeah.
with him. He's going to be in I Am Legend 2.
Oh, they're making a second one.
Yep. He's coming
Okay.
back in I Am Legend form.
I thought they like solved it. Like the
I
whole
mean,
thing.
Depends what ending you saw. Maybe the dog will
So
come
then-
back.
Maybe. But so then that means that they solved it,
Just because you solve it, how do you get it out into a broken world?
I guess.
It'd be a
Yeah,
slow
I guess you're
process.
right.
It would take some time. This could be about some of the time it takes. Let's talk about tipping. I want to talk
Um,
about tipping.
I'm not okay with it myself.
No? Why not? You don't think that there's a situation where a little extra on top isn't deserved?
Well, there should be no deserving anything. Like you should have a wage, and that wage should be enough to actually survive on
Yeah.
and stuff. So the one thing I've never liked about restaurants and
Hairdressers.
that too, it's like why can't we just pay these people what they need to survive. Like why pass it off on all the other people who don't make enough to survive? So it's now this just vicious cycle of tipping.
Well, at the same time, though, a lot of these people, they're not just surviving from tips. They're making so much money from tips. They're like quitting.
Oh yeah.
They're quitting college and stopping going to class because they make so much money from tips. Not all
Some
of them,
yeah.
but some of them do.
It really depends on where you are. But the
Yeah.
thing is, when I was in kitchen, I never saw like a dollar or anything like that come
Which
through
is
the
funny
kitchen
because
it never did.
you're ultimately the only person in the
Yeah.
restaurant, the only area of the restaurant that is responsible for how good of a time that people are gonna have, and y'all never see a tip or anything.
Yep. Exactly. And you know who used to annoy the hell out of the kitchen too? The service staff.
Yeah.
Because if anything comes out of the kitchen not good, then the table's not going to be excited about it. So the service staff then gets snippy with you and like starts shit talking you and stuff like that. And the reason why is because their tips are at stake because of something you did.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it doesn't matter what they do. Like they can add all these ridiculous things to the bill and all that stuff. And we still do it. We have to,
It's
right?
true. Yep.
But then at the end of the day, we don't go home with any tips and they can walk out the door with like a couple $100,
Now
all
there's
while
some
treating you like
places
shit.
where it all goes in a pot and it's shared with the back house too.
Very rarely will you see that.
And then there's some places where the manager takes it all. Or
Yeah,
the
I've been
owner. The
there.
owner takes it all, yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, that's fun.
So when I used to work at a bingo, this is a primary example of it. I would be the one going around selling the cards. So somebody would like they'd ask for like specific cards, like, oh, I need a number in this corner and stuff like that. So you'd actually be like sorting through all of
Oh,
these
I've never thought of that
bingo
before.
cards and
That's
whatever.
interesting. Of
Yeah, you
people
can make
asking for that.
requests.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's all gambling and we would do whatever you wanted. The only thing that I was ever given as like a bonus is I could use the drink machines and I could drink as much pop as I wanted, and
Soda.
that was it. Yeah, soda, pop, whatever.
Soda pop.
Um, and like if I wanted something like a little bit of chicken fingers or whatever, I would still have to pay full price
Oh.
for them. Yeah, so it's like I got nothing as a card seller and I was making minimum wage. And then the people that would literally just go up to the front, sit down, and call the numbers, they were the ones that were always bringing the people the money. So the person would tip them, and they would just put like $200 or $300 in their pocket,
Yep.
and then they would give the card sellers shit constantly for not being fast enough and all that. So it's like I don't like tipping culture because it's unfair to everybody. Everybody's putting in effort to make it good for the people coming by. But you know who only gets it? The end of the line person.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
like the
frustrating.
server or something. And now tipping is like essentially mandated. So they're just generally doing their job the way that they're supposed to, like being pleasant. Hey, will you want me to refill that? All right. Have a good one. And then they're getting like a $50 to $100 tip. Meanwhile, they're just walking around clearing tables, asking people what they want. It doesn't feel like that hard of a job, really, coming from kitchens and stuff. It's like I could definitely do front of house.
I could
That'd
still
be
see it
whatever.
being a difficult job, but I understand where you're
I could
coming
see
from
it,
as far
depending
as
on how busy it is. Yeah.
yeah, but it'll always have busy times. But I just think
Yeah,
that
exactly.
it's on a lot of checks now, or on the bill it'll be like there's a 15% mandatory tip
And
at a
it's
lot
like,
of
okay,
places.
so now it's not a tip at that thing. That's a service charge.
You're very correct. But
That's
if
a
I
that's a
see that,
mandatory
I'm not
service
gonna leave an
charge.
extra tip at that point.
No, I'm not. Exactly. It's not even up to the person going. It's just, hey, we have a 20% gratuity on all bills over $100, which is
Right.
really
That
not
sounds
that
more
hard
correct.
to hit at a restaurant, especially in Canada. Like
Man, when I was
uh,
a kid,
any plate is like $20.
a standard tip was 15%, and I know that because I
Yep.
learned how to do the 15% math and only the 15% math, and then I had a hard time now that it's 20 and 25 expected.
The easiest way of doing that is get 10% of it and then just multiply that by two.
Okay.
It's easy.
25.
25% tip. I'm not tipping 25%. Why would
A
I
lot of
tip
people
25?
do. A lot of people do.
No, I'm not doing that. How much money do you think I have?
I don't have any.
That's the main problem with like Canada. I think it's probably in the States too. I shouldn't have to subsidize your life because I wanted to come to your restaurant.
It's kind of like our friend who didn't have a lot of money, ordered a drink at an event, very expensive drink, and then was told by the bartender, tipping's a thing, you know. I didn't like that story.
That's fine if you're making me like a good drink, like you're actually mixing me a drink. But if you're grabbing a beer, opening a beer, and handing it to me, why should I have to tip you? It's a beer. That's like nothing. If I'm ordering like a cocktail or whatever, I'm going to taste the cocktail and then I'll tip you accordingly.
It
But
was
if
like
you
a
make me a shit
12 to
cocktail, I
$15
ain't tipping
beer.
you.
It's like a $12 to $15 beer.
Yeah, exactly. It was already a fucking like $15 beer. What more do you want? Are you getting paid at all?
I'm sure they
Like,
get money from the door, which we also paid to go in.
yeah,
So it's
exactly.
frustrating.
There was a cover charge, and then
Yep.
the beers and stuff were like $20. So like, what more do you want from me?
Yeah, I spent about 60 bucks.
Seriously,
I spent about 60 bucks on vodka cranberries between us.
like, I almost turned around and almost gave that guy shit
Yeah, I
because
know.
it's like, excuse you, coming from the service industry, do not fucking talk like that.
It kind of made me regret
You,
tipping the other person that I
yeah,
dealt with because that I felt like an
it
idiot for
kind of it
supporting.
kind of soured the whole night
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, thank you for doing your job that you're hired for. Don't talk to me like that.
It's pretty wild.
Because in any of my jobs, if I ever talked like that to anybody, I would be so fired so fast.
But these
I'd be
days,
out the
man,
door.
these days everyone just has an attitude and it seems like it's okay.
I know. And it's like, I just want to slap it off their face some days.
Yeah, you don't
Don't
have hands though.
smirk at me like that. Yeah, I know.
You
Don't like
can't because you
smirk at
don't have
me like
hands.
that and talk down to me and all that stuff. It's like, I'm here supporting the business by just paying the prices that are there. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to feel like, oh, I need to now subsidize your life. Come on. I never once got a tip in my life working all these different service jobs because I was never the server.
Dude, every time I did a service job of any kind, because I went to school for hospitality generally. So anytime I
Yeah.
had a hospitality gig of any kind, it was always if you take a tip, you're gonna get fired. And these people are
Yeah,
gonna
that too.
try and tip you to try and get you fired, and then they're gonna tell on you. So you're not allowed to take
Yep.
tips.
Dude, I used to work at a Lowe's and we were told that we were never allowed to take a tip at all. And somebody tried to hand me like $20 as a tip. And now looking back at it, I should have just taken it
Yeah.
because, dude, they refused to give me like a generic raise away from minimum wage. Like, that's literally what the tipping is for. It's for people that are not making very much money and stuff. And I think server wage and stuff is gone now in
Yeah, it's just
Ontario.
minimum wage, which has gone
So
up
yeah, so
to
now
or
it's just
is going
minimum
up,
wage,
which might be 15.75 soon, if not yet.
which is just going to make everything all more
God, I
expensive
remember getting like
anyways.
6.95 or whatever, 6.75, something like that.
Yeah, I think my first job was like 10.25
Nice.
and that was minimum wage at the time
Okay.
because I had two jobs. I was working at Cinnabon and I was working at a bingo. So
Delicious.
like I would go to Cinnabon and I would make obviously the rolls all day. And then I would leave and I would go to my other job right away. And then I would walk around smelling like cinnamon rolls.
I'm surprised you didn't get
Have
more
a cup.
tips then.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Like I'm selling all these winning bingo cards to you people. Like,
Then you smell like cinnamon rolls, which is great.
don't touch my troll dolls. Don't touch my troll dolls. I'm not touching your
Jeez.
troll dolls, man.
That actually happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. People are kind of nuts about bingo.
I guess. I've done it a few times at various camps and stuff. Because we used to go
And
to the
that,
conservation areas growing up and they'd have like bingo events
yeah.
and crap like that.
I mean, bingo's fun to just go and spend like $30 and stay there for an hour and
Eh, maybe it's just conjecture, but this is
maybe.
impulsive. Maybe I'm being too impulsive.
Yeah.
All right, we should stop. We have enough.
Oops.
This is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.